when you've done something wrong and you feel like, well, the best thing to do will be to keep your head down, make sure that people don't necessarily notice, that type of thing, Well, it doesn't necessarily work in the world of micro celebrities, as is the case of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I mean, you would have thought after the debacle of that ridiculous award, Women of Vision, the whole escapade of everybody now laughing at them worldwide, of that car chase, which they claimed was for 2 hours. And even the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, really had to, well, hold himself in from laughing on a television program in the US. You would have thought, wouldn't you, you'd shut up. Well, seemingly not. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company. The brilliant Victoria Palace Theatre behind me, the scene of so many big royal events, including a spectacular royal variety performance in 1960, one of the very first to actually be filmed and later televised. Hard to imagine when you look at the doors closed like that, all those wonderful artists that went through and the royals that came to be entertained. They used to refer to the Victoria Palace, as their local theatre, because quite literally it's at the back of Buckingham Palace, and Her Majesty the Queen didn't mind attending events here because normally, for instance, if it was the state opening of Parliament, she knew she could get home quickly, and sometimes she only had a few hours rest before she had to get back up again in the full regalia to go do the state opening. You get the picture. Back as ever though to your royal story. As I say very quickly, I just wanted to explain this. This is a story that is now breaking out of Montecito, California. And it's always again about blaming, isn't it? With Harry and Meghan, never their fault, never take accountability, whichever version of events you wish to believe. And of course, you have to look at two sides to every story. There are two sides to every story. But in this particular instance, unless we see some proof of exactly where this 2-hour chase led, people are always going to speculate and simply, quite frankly, mock. It makes the worldwide privacy tour almost seem real, doesn't it? But now, according to a very good source, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, Harry and Meghan are hitting back at the senior members of the British royal family. This is because publicly they haven't come forward to offer, well, their concerns and their worries, hope everything's okay, etc. Well, as we've seen before, it's very difficult, isn't it, when the British monarchy have reached out, as they have done in the past, to wish the Prince or indeed the Duchess a happy birthday. It's not normally reciprocated, whether it be on Harry and Meghan's website or through their numerous spokespeople, like People magazine. But according to that very good source, this is the reason why Meghan truly believes they had to leave that particular area, that arena, because as she pointed out, seemingly, and as ever, allegedly, there's simply one rule for one and none for the other. Now, as I told you before, and I mentioned this on international television, the King Charles, was totally across the whole situation and was naturally very concerned for both. Once he realised there was no real danger, obviously, privately, he did reach out to them. Obviously, with Harry and Meghan, they feel that the only validation they can now claim regarding the British monarchy is if it's public. And for Meghan and Harry, seemingly that flag waving is never going to go away, or indeed the blame game lies firmly, in her eyes and his eyes, with the British monarchy. I, for one, wouldn't mind if they all just simply drew a line under it and moved on. Whichever way you look at it, it's a terrible situation and a mess. Neil Sean, Victoria Palace, London.